Hello, Keith is here with Math Fun and Games. Today we're playing PanzerLeader and we're on situation 4, Saint-Lô. I'm trying to sound French. And it's Allied turn, we're on turn 7. So first thing I'm going to see, I don't have any indirect fire because I didn't call it in next turn. I'm actually going to bring those mortars up. Direct fire. Okay, so right here I have plenty of direct fire. So I have 22, so I have 44 factors here. And then I have 66 total factors with that 11 against this hex right here, because that's less than half range. It's armor, so I have 66. So it's 66 to 22. I have a 3-to-1 odds here. I'm going to take it. Mark my units fired. Fired. See, they're not all fired. That's why I don't use that. Let's see if I can erase that. Fired and that fired. Trucks can't fire. Okay, and the tank didn't have to fire. No, the tank did fire. I'm sorry. Okay, so 66, so I have a 3-to-1 plus 1 there. And a 4, so I get a 5 at a 3-to-1. So they're dispersed. Excellent. Okay. So that's fire over there. I don't know if I have any other fire. Well, I have a 5-to-1 over here against there. Yeah. I'm going to do that. So I'm going to take the 4-to-1 against the wagon. So it's just going to be the machine gun unit and one of these rifles right here. And roll 4-to-1. 4-to-1 plus 1. It's dispersed. Okay. Move that up to the top. Well, that was underwhelming. I shot some carts, and they didn't even destroy them. All right, do I have any other fire? No. And see, the thing I noticed is in the units bog down when you enter the cities. I noticed that. All right, so I'm going to move some tanks around. I got these two right here. And I'm being stopped right now by these hetzers. And I'm just throwing in units and these hetzers are stopping me. I want to try to destroy that in close combat. I don't know if I can get a 2-to-1 though. Well, right here, now I have a 2-to-1. I have a 1-to-2 right there. If they fire, I can get 1-to-2. Well, that's armor. That becomes a 10. So that's 1-to-1. So I got 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So I got 2-to-1 actually. If this tank and I throw some infantry at it, I can actually get up to 2-to-1 here. And then I can go in for the close assault. Or you can get a 2-to-1 close assault. That's what I want to do, is do a 2-to-1 close assault. So what do I need for that? So there's 6 and 6, and I need 2 infantry over here. So that leaves me 1 infantry over here and 1 infantry over here. So I can get 14. I would just need 2 more. Unfortunately, I can't get that 2 more. But I can, so I got a 1-to-1 right here. There's this tank right here. Can fire at a 1-to-1. I'll take it. And 1-to-1 plus 1, and it fails because if it's in the town. Okay. So next question, how am I going to proceed over here? Right. So I get 6. 12. So I got 2 to 1 minus 1 in a close assault. All right, so over here I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I would need 24, 19, 20. So I don't even, best I can get to 2 to 1 over here. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and one of these would be 15, 16. So I can move 2 of these out, but thing is, if I bring in my armor, they're just going to get blown up. I'm actually moving 2 of these out. While that hetzer is there, my units are just going to get destroyed. So I may as well preserve my infantry and just have the bare minimum I need there for the attack. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and that gives me a 2 to 1 in the close assault. Okay, now what do I do with this one? Do I start moving all the way around to the other side? That's what I'm thinking of doing. Yeah, let's do 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, and 8. I know there's a howitzer down there. The howitzer's not going to fire yet. Move that like that. Okay, I think that's it. How about down here? Okay, some units fired, other units are preparing for a close assault. Not this turn, but they're going to close assault over here and wipe out that wagon. Well, you know what? I can shift everybody to the right. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh yeah, there was an extra infantry here, and I moved it back because of stacking limitations. So how about this unit? Let's go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So now I got armor in the other part of the city, which is good. Now I can start putting pressure, because those hetzers are really tough. So I'm not going to challenge them just yet. Okay, so back here, my mortar units. Move some of the trucks. Some of the trucks are right here. And that's not less than half of movement, so they're going to load up. And these trucks can load up. I can get rid of these indirect fire markers. I don't need them at the moment. Well, they can't move. I can't move and load, so I'm just going to put my mortar units on the same hex as the trucks, and I'll be able to move them, hopefully. All right, let's see if there's anything else I want to move. No, so now it's a close assault. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 times 2 is 16. We got 2 to 1 plus 1. And 2 to 1 plus 1, that's a 3. We just dispersed that, and that's not doing me well. It's double D, but that unit wasn't dispersed yet, so it's just dispersed, and another wasted turn, it feels like. The only thing positive is I'm starting to get some armor around the side here. So I want to remove this fired marker. I want this fired marker and that. If I have any units dispersed, then we'll move these 2 fire markers. All right. Oh, I did have a close assault right here. I could do it. I could have done a 2-to-1 plus 1. That'll be 2-to-1 minus. And actually, yes, this right here was 2-to-1 minus 1, not plus 1. So this was destroyed. Yes, because that's 2-to-1 minus 1 because the close assault's minus 2 plus 1 for the building. Okay, so that was destroyed. Okay, so well, I made a little progress there. And over here, I had to use these 4 units. So I would have needed 4 units to get 4 firepower against this wagon right here. So I'm going to just leave it right now as it is. Well, and now this guy right here is going to attack it at just 2-to-1 minus 1. And that's destroyed. Okay, so we're making progress. So now it's the Germans' turn. And indirect fire first. What do I have for indirect fire? Where's my spotting unit? X8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And target hex is Y8. I'm guessing right there. And there's going to be actually 15 firepower because we only got one of the mortars, with the other mortars preparing to move, so it's going to be 15 firepower. And it's going to be 15 to 6. It's going to be a 2-to-1 plus 1. And 2-to-1 plus 1 with the 6 die roll is no effect. So mortars have no effect. So I want to dial in mortar fire. I'm going to dial in mortar fire next turn for Y. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. To Y7. And we only got one mortar unit active now. The other one's going to be moved. So I'm going to set it this turn and next turn 8. And I'm just going to do the same thing. All right. Okay, so now German movement phase. So we're down here. I already got the howitzer loaded up, so I'm going to move that forward. The howitzer's going to move. It's going to 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's going to unload right there because the Americans have to either take those 2 towns. And there's another truck back here. This mortar's going to load in the truck. And it can load, and then it still has half its movement. So there's 6 points left. 1, 2, 3. I want to leave it there. Can't unload yet because you can't both load and unload in the same turn. And I guess this truck's going to go right here in the outskirts of the city. And the reason I'm doing this, the Americans have to take this city, both sides, on the east side and the west side of the river, or they take the east side of the river and they get Kuhn, I don't know how to pronounce it, Kuhn, Kuhn, I don't know, and Kovaraj, or Kavaraj, I don't know, can't pronounce it. All right, that howitzer, I also want to load up that. I don't want to load up that howitzer. Because if I do any movement over here, any trucks are going to be eliminated. So, and I need that howitzer too. I'm using, well, All right, I didn't fire with the howitzer, my loss. Should have fired with the howitzer. Would have been a weak attack, but would have been something. Alrighty, so now, oh shoot. No, I have direct fire. I'm not gonna. So there is direct fire right here. I'm gonna try to cheat a little bit. I'm doing the direct fire after the movement, but it doesn't matter because they don't affect each other anyway. So, or do I? Do I want to do direct fire? Because it isn't much of a target, it's just one unit, and I can just do a close assault over here for a one-to-one attack and neutralize it. Oh, okay. I'm not going to do the direct fire. I'm going to take these two infantry units, and they're going to close assault right here. So it's going to be 1 to 2 minus 1, and it's a 3. So that would be a 2. So that unit is dispersed, and will take up space, and will not be able to participate in any attack next turn. Genius. All right, so these dispersed units right here become undispersed. And that is it for the German movement phase. And that was a stroke of genius right there. That was a stroke of genius. Because now the Hetzers can, well, the Hetzer still could have fired, right? Hetzer still could have fired, but right now I got a dispersed unit there. That's taking up space, and they're going to bring in 2 more units right there, right? So they're going to bring in 2 more units, but that dispersed unit is taking up space that a healthy unit could have taken when it entered that, so kind of works. Alrighty, so that's it for turn 7. Next time we're going to be going on to turn 8. And I just want to say this is one of my favorite scenarios right now, because it is just, I'm getting the feeling of the street fighting and the value of armor and the interaction between the armor and the, it's just a very interesting, there's a good feel to it for a scenario. Okay, thank you very much. I will see you next turn. Bye bye.